In the name of Lord Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen. In the name of Jesus Christ, in the cultivation class, we will share 1 Timothy. How many of you are repeated attendee? Raise your hand. You were here before. Have you ever heard Pastor Liang talk about 1 Timothy? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Yeah, I heard that Pastor Liang always mentioned about 1 Timothy because 1 Timothy is pastoral, an episode of pastoral book. 教牧书信. It is from a senior preacher to a young preacher to talk about how to behave in the house of God, how to teach, how to conduct himself in the house of God. So because we all try to serve in the house of God, so it is good that we try to review this book. With only 6 sections, I don't believe I will finish it. But if you come next year, I will continue. So next slide, please. Next slide. Do you know how to go to the next slide? No? Okay. Okay. Yeah, called pastoral letter, 教牧书信. It is to defend the pure truth in a critical time. Let's read 1 Timothy chapter 1, verse 3. People are preaching false doctrine in that generation already. 1 Timothy 1, 3. 郭弟兄 please read. What is it? 巴黎过，他是什么 ？Please read. 寇，你不姓郭吗？科，寇，那寇，那寇。
First Timothy chapter 1 verse 3. As I urged you when I went to Macedonia, remain in Ephesus, that you may charge some that they teach no other doctrine.
Yes, do not teach other doctrine. Verse 4, continue.
Nor give heed to the fables and endless genealogies, which causes disputes rather than godly edification, which is in faith.
Yes, so you should tell people, urge people, don't preach false doctrine and anything that may arouse debate. In current church history, we noticed that there was a particular worker before. No matter where he go, he will arouse debate in that church. Some people will choose to follow that person. Others will try to defend the truth. When a preacher come to a church or a worker come to a church, we should unite. We shall unite the church. We shall, Jesus bring grace and truth. Not anything might rouse a lot of debate, bring turmoil to the church. Later on, of course, this ex-worker was excommunicated because he continued to preach the deviated truth. So at that time, some people were trying to do this. I think in AMC, you learn many things about this already, right? 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 20. Chapter 6, verse 20. Next one, brother.
1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 20. O Timothy, guard what was committed to your trust, avoid profane and idle babblings and contradictions of what is falsely called knowledge.
So what has been given to you, you shall keep it. You shall defend it and to avoid those words as if they are right, but they are wrong. So we should be very careful. We should know how to conduct ourselves in the last generation. I guess that's the purpose for you to come here too, right? You should learn what is the pure and try to defend the truth for the church. So challenges in that generation is that were the misinterpretation of the law, profane and idle babbling, false doctrine. Let's read 1 Timothy 3:15. 3:15. This is the main purpose of 1 Timothy. If there's a test, for sure this will be in the test. Of course, they have no test. I just want to address how important is this. Or I might give you a test in my last sections to see if you are awake or something. Now, for sure, this is the most important. Now, this verse is the purpose of the whole books. Why Paul wrote 1 Timothy to Tim, chapter 3, verse 15. 3:15. Next, brother.
1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 15. But if I am delayed, I write so that you may know how you ought to conduct yourself in the house of God, which is the church of the living God, the pillar and ground of truth.
Yes. So you know how to conduct in the house of God because, he will be there alone, and Paul may not go there as early as he like. And what is the purpose of church on earth? There are many purposes, right? One of the purposes is that to sustain the truth. Can you imagine that there was no more spiritual church after the apostle age. Even though the church keep growing, but it became a tree with birds on it, with 飞鸟在大树上面. There was no more Church of God. Even though they got Catholic Church, they got human organizations. In that generation, the church will not change his doctrine anymore until the second coming of Jesus Christ. But we have the God-given obligation to defend and continue and sustain the truth, because the church is the pillars of the truth and foundations of the truth. And therefore, you as a young preacher got to know how to conduct yourself in the house of God. So the whole letter is Paul's encouragement or Paul's teaching to young preacher. How do you do in the house of God? How do you conduct yourself in the house of God? And we are the successor of the apostles' age. We got to know how to conduct ourselves. Yeah? Okay? So you know the purpose of this book. Okay? Now we try to, this is very brief outline. We try to go to details. Let's turn to 1 Timothy. Let's try to read through verse 1 to verse 11. Now, David? 1 Timothy, verse 1 to verse 11. 你读中文啊？
对。
请他们念英文啊。
英文字太小。
Can you read English, please? 1 to 11. 你也读中文的。Victoria, where's Victoria? Who is loud and clear? I know Victoria is very loud and clear. Who is loud and clear in English? Can you read loud? Because I'm reading Chinese. I need to hear. Verse 1 to 11, yeah.
In Jesus' name I read the Bible. Paul, an apostle of Jesus Christ, by the commandment of God our Savior and the Lord Jesus Christ our hope. To Timothy, a true son in the faith.
Pause a little bit. To Timothy, a true son. Why he called Timothy a true son? I guess you know the answer, right? Aldor. Renador. I knew very few names. I just learned a new name, Amanda.
Because Paul saw Timothy like his own son.
Okay. In what way?
I think it's in the spiritual way.
Spiritual way, thank you. So how many true sons, or Paul called them sons in the Bible? Paul, how many people call Paul them sons? Sister Lee, L-Y? Do you pronounce it Lee? How many I already released the answer. How many two sons? Yeah, there are two sons. Besides Timothy, who is the other one? Titus, right? That's why Book of Timothy and Book of Titus are called 教牧书信. How do you say 教牧书信? Pastoral letter. So if you want to be a good pastor in the church, keep reading these two books, okay? Then because these two books is from a senior preacher to young preachers, from a father to two true sons. These sons refer to 做在真理上做真儿子的。Let's read Titus chapter 1. 共信之道 common faith, true son in common faith. Verse 4. Chapter 1, verse 4. Who can read? Let me jump around. A brother, is that? 都忘记了，名字都忘记了。A brother from Leicester. Nathaniel, yeah, yes. Do we have a name list somewhere?
The title says, "A true son in our common faith. Grace, mercy, and peace from God the Father and the Lord Jesus Christ our Savior."
Okay, a true son of common faith. So, Common faith. What do you mean by common faith? Yeah. So in the New Testament time, do we have common faith nowadays? Where do you find common faith booklet? Do you find common faith booklet? Small booklet? Huh? Yeah. Today we have common faith, right? In that generation, they already have common faith. That's why nobody shall go deviated from common faith. Today, we are here, actually your major courses over here is to learn common faith. That is the 10 basic belief, yeah? Of course, did Jesus write any books? Did Jesus write any books? No, right? Now, how this common faith was got passed down? How does it go? Yes, huh? So they hold fast the teachings of the disciple, right? Acts chapter 2. Acts chapter 2. Some people say our 10 basic doctrine is an idol. IA is an idol. 10 basic doctrine is an idol. So we got to strike down the idol. Do you hear that? Of course, you do not read internet, right? Don't read it. It's no good. Just pollute your pure mind. People are scolding us. They are from us. They are from us, but they are away from us. And they try to scold the IA is idol. I'm going to say it's idol. 10 basic belief is idol. But if you chop down 10 basic belief, then there's no foundation of the church. Right? Because they are the pillar and foundations of the church. They are so quote-unquote common faith. Yeah? And this common faith has been collected, and they was there, and member hold fast on this. Acts chapter 2, verse 42. 42, next one, I think it's Jordan. I just learned this name, I think.
Verse 42. And they continued steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship, in the breaking of bread.
So how not the teachings of Jesus, but the teachings of the apostle? How come they are not stating fast the teachings of Jesus? Why not? Jordan? Why it says that hold fast the teaching of apostle? Did not say hold fast the teaching of Jesus.
The teachings of the apostles were derived from the teachings of Jesus.
Okay. The teaching of Jesus has gone with the wind. I mean, he did not write any books. Nobody, he did not write down anything for you to hold fast on it. All the books you have written are apostles' books, or prophets' books. Understand? Right? That's why it says hold fast, because all the words of Jesus has gone with the wind. In history, of course. In history at that time, like if there's no recording now, my words has gone with the wind. Understand? Hello? But apostle recorded, collected common faith, 共信的道理, right? Therefore, people got to hold fast on this common faith. So Titus was the son of the common faith. So when we talk about true sons, they are the sons of this common faith. They are successor of Paul's teaching. Of course, maybe personally they are very intimate to one another also. Let's turn to Philippians. They are co-worker. They work together all the time. And Philippians chapter 2, verse 20 to 23. 20 to 23. I got a name list. Bianca Chen. I think you are the repeater. This name sounds familiar. Bianca. Please read. Louder, please. I'm reading Chinese. Yes, Timothy had proved himself. He prospered the gospel. He labored with me, and he treated me like son, treating his father. Yeah, I'm reading Chinese. Maybe your English has better words. So you can see that the Bible called them true sons. They are true sons of common faith, and they always work together. They are really close to one another. Okay, let's come back to 1 Timothy. Sister from Durban. No, Durban, would you please continue reading? 1 Timothy chapter 1, verse 2.
1 Timothy chapter 1, verse 2. To Timothy, a true son in the faith, grace, mercy, and peace from God our Father and Jesus Christ our Lord.
Verse 3 and 4.
Verse 3. As I urged you when I went into Macedonia, remain in Ephesus, that you may charge some that they teach no other doctrine. Verse 4. Nor give heed to fables and endless genealogies, which cause dispute rather than godly edification, which is in faith.
5.
Verse 5. Now the purpose of the commandment is love from a pure heart, from a good conscience, and from sincere faith. Verse 6. From which some, having strayed, have turned aside to idle talking. Verse 7. Desiring to be teachers of the law, understanding neither what they say nor the things which they affirm. Verse 8. But we know that the law is good if one uses it lawfully. Verse 9. Knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous person, but for the lawless and insubordinate, for the ungodly and for sinners, for the unholy and profane, for murderers of fathers and murderers of mothers, for manslayers. Verse 10, for fornicators, for sodomites, for kidnappers, for liars, for perjurers, and if there is any other thing that is contrary to sound doctrine. Verse 11, according to the glorious gospel of the blessed God, which was committed to my trust.
Glorious gospel. Gospel is glorious. So the law is good if everybody uses it lawfully. The purpose of the law, actually, they are indeed for the bad guys, right? Like, you are good guys, therefore no laws for you. We have no law over here. So I trust that you will be here on time in the morning prayer section, right? No law. You got to abide the law. The law is in your heart. So the law is for bad guys. I mean, can you imagine that to lead 2 million people to walk in the wildernesses and there's no law? How do you like manage 2 million people without rules and regulation? Then people can have one heart and one mind. It's very difficult. That's why. Do you find 10 Commandments in the Garden of Eden? No, right? That's why we realize that there are many lawful things comes out. Then God start to write the moral law, right? Like, for example, nowadays, a lot of youth try to play with the gray area of sexual line. Where do you draw the line, right? Then the church got to catch up with that. In the early days, nobody talked about only, what is sexual immoral. Everybody know it is sexual intercourse. It's sexual immoral. Then people start to play around in the gray area. Then just got to catch up. So later on, USA says that, oral sex, if you have oral sex, you cannot get married in the church. And this year, last year in IATRC, we started to try to research what is sexual immoral. Then they start to say that, oral sex, breast sex, hand sex, anal sex. Anal? Do you pronounce anal? Anal? See, my English is very broken. So, but I hope you understand. If you can understand my English, Raise your hand. They are considered sex. You cannot say hand sex is not sex. You cannot say breast sex is not sex. So church try to define even more law concerning what is sex. Understand my point? So in the Garden of Eden, actually only one law, right? You just listen to your father, Heavenly Father, just listen to him. Don't eat this, right? And then now people, you live in Egypt, people do a lot of immoral stuff. But that law already written in people's heart. If you tell any Gentiles, right? If you tell them that that's still right, no, it's not right. Does honor parents, is it right to honor parents? Of course, people believe that honoring parents is right. However, because many people offended, like over here, 不法的、不服从的、不敬虔的、犯罪的 ，interpret Victoria, verse 5, verse 9. 不法的、不服从的、不敬虔的、犯罪的。
Lawless, insubordinate, ungodly sinners.
Thank you. Yeah, now if I speak in Chinese, you speak English. Okay, thank you. Because sometimes it's very difficult for me to speak in English. So that's why God, even though it's in your heart, Gentile people do not have written code, but they are conscious. 他们的良心呢 conscious, conscience or conscious, conscience. Their conscience tell them what is right and what is wrong, right? But they don't got to spell it out because people cannot follow their conscience. So law is good if you use it lawfully, and if you like in that generation, people try to interpret what is Mosaic law. There are 613 Jewish rabbi. They collected the Mosaic law plus with a lot of oral law. They try to anyway add it together, put it in a tassel. Tassel, you know tassel? Tassel has 600. 有一种虔诚巾呐，虔诚围巾，虔诚披肩，虔诚披肩 ，godly 披肩 The woman wearing it 披肩呐 ，you know what is 披肩 ？Yeah, 披肩。Yeah, that is a piece of clothing, right? Yeah, they invented 虔诚披肩，虔诚肩 ，and they are 613 须须啊 ，threads. Right? Every thread prefigure law. That's called godly what? Godly what? Shong. Shong.
S-H-A-W-U-L.
Shong. Okay. I learned a word. So what I'm talking about? Oh yeah, people try to interpret the law. Well, for example, at that time people insist that if you want to be spiritual descendants of Abraham, you got to do circumcision because this is a law. God made covenant with Abraham. Everybody belong to Abraham, got to do circumcision, right? You know, this is a law, right? So they want to non-Jewish Christian to do that. Did Paul circumcise Timothy later on? Or bring him for circumcision? No, I don't think he circumcised himself, but. Timothy was brought to for why was that? Paul was so insist that if I preach circumcision, why am I still got persecuted? Then why did he later on have Timothy got circumcised? Why? Anybody? Why? Victoria, you want to say something? Oh no, okay. Right. Homework. You figure out why. This is a fact, right? Of course, the Bible do not have answer, but you know that circumcision or not is really not the most important thing. Is that you want to insist the law, you interpret not lawfully. So law is good if you interpret lawfully, right? So, like for example, if you go to Africa, right, you keep telling members. 戴什么？戴这个叫什么 ？If you wear a covering, cap, not cap. What was the word from the Bible? Yeah, covering. I think. Yeah, it is wrong. Don't do it, right? If you go to Africa, tell member, it is wrong according to Paul's message, right? Long hair is to cover your hair. Of course, if you debate to non-TCAC member, you should go ahead, give the what you have learned, right? No, what is true covering? True covering is not like what you do, right? You are covering your hair. Okay. You are cold, not because you want to show your humility. I'm telling you that there's no answer. The Bible didn't give us answer, but I just want to give you an example. You go to Africa, African members, women, some churches, Kenya, they cover their hair, women. How many of you went to Africa already? Raise your hand. Did they cover their hair? Did they cover their hair? Did they cover their hair? Where did you go? Ghana? Okay, some did. Some did. There was a preacher, now he's not a preacher anymore, try to preach no covering. Of course, because we teach them no need, right? Then some old member said, "You are Satan! 你是魔鬼! You teach us what against the teaching of Paul," right? Of course, we know the new teachings, but if they do not insist covering is for salvation, right? Or is later we let them keep their tradition just to avoid a lot of unnecessary turmoil or debate. We tell them what is right, but we do not force people to uncover their covering. So you still see people. Again, circumcision is not important. But again, Timothy was, his father was a Greek. And Timothy got to work in the Jewish community. And many Jewish, they have this strong concept. We are descendants of Abraham. This is covenant made with Abraham, right? So nowadays, if Jewish people come to believe, do you tell them that, hey, you don't need circumcision? They will fight with you, right? Go ahead, but just do not insist that this have to do with salvation. Understand? For hygienic reason, maybe. Like nowadays, many TJC members, they like to have what? They like to follow the diet rules based on Mosaic law. If they want to follow that, and as long as they do not insist, everybody got to follow it, right? For their own personal, they think it's good for their health. Well, that's what they think, right? Then, well, you don't need to debate in the church scales and make everybody feel like turmoil and stuff. That's my point. That's my point. That's why later on Timothy was brought over for circumcision, even though Paul was fighting for not to circumcise people, but later on Timothy got circumcised as well. So some when you call common faith, right? Many have to do really with the foundation, 10 basic belief. 10 basic belief. That you should urge nobody deviated from 10 basic belief. Understand my point? Yeah. But the rest of it, have to do with tradition, culture. We still need to share what is the right understanding of the Bible. Yeah? We still need to share. But be aware, people might call you Satan. It's okay if you preach the right thing, right? People can call you Satan. But if you preach the right things, that's fine. But again, sometimes because covering the head, they have nothing to do with salvation. It have to do with submission. Is that right? Yeah. Then we don't need to go there and do revelational work. Everybody from now on got to uncover your hair. Otherwise, you do not what? It is not right or something like that. You don't need to force. It takes time for them to adjust the teachings. It takes time. especially the things that are not related to 10 basic beliefs, yeah, common faith, yeah. We are sons of common faith, yeah. You are sons of common faith, yeah. We should hold on the truth, yeah. Anyway, so some people try to preach things that have no base and arose a lot of debate. Paul says that you should urge them not to preach it. The most important thing is the what? About the in the church, we really got to talk about focus also love, right? The conclusion of commandments is love. Why is the conclusion of commandment is love? Why is the conclusion of 10 commandments is love? That's narrowed down to 10 commandments. 陈林是不是？陈林 Why the conclusion of commandments is love? God is love. How about based on 10 commandments? Why, besides God's love, any other insights?
Because the first 4 commandments are about loving God.
Mm-hmm.
The rest are about loving mankind.
Yes. So that's why Jesus concluded that first commandments, you shall love your God with all your mind, all your soul, all your strength, right? Then following by loving man, right? Love your neighbor as yourself. So the conclusion of commandments is love, right? And here talk about love got to be from pure heart, clear conscience, and sincere faith, right? So let's try to talk about where is love from. Now in the church, we talk about love. Love has a boundary, got to have a base. Otherwise, it will be like if you love your children, right? How come so many parents love their children? The more they love, the more trouble they bring to their children. Because they, what? 溺爱 How do you say 溺爱? Spoil them. Yeah, you spoil them. Yeah. So we got to know the boundary of love. Yeah. Now we talk about. Now, I'm sorry. Let's read a little bit. I'm sorry. I don't. Next slide, please. Okay. Now, if you analyze 10 commandments, right? I think they have to do with blessings and protections. All the do have to do with blessings. All the don'ts have to do with protections. First commandment, love your, what? 敬拜独一神, right? Love one true God, right? Right? Honor one true God, right? Of course, honor one true God comes with blessings. Job says that, 耶伯记说, if you knew the Lord, your God, if you knew God, 平安就临到你嘛，福气会临到你嘛。The peace and blessing will go to you, right? Do not worship idol. If you watch more idol, do not worship idol is a protection actually. The more idol you watch, the more trouble you're going to have. Chinese people say, 拜鬼神换鬼煞. The more idols you worship, the more bully you might have from Satan, right? Is protect you from the bully of Satan. Do not call God's name in vain. Do not. All the don't really comes with protection. For example, honor your parents come with blessing also, right? What is the blessing? Long life, yeah. So all the do come with blessing. All the don't really protection. 不可杀人 protect life, yeah. Do not kill is to protect life. 不可奸淫 protect family, right? If you have affair, adultery, really family got broken, right? 不可偷盗 protect property, right? 不可作假见证 protect jurisdiction, right? Are you with me? Protect the judicial system. If you bear force them to harm people, there's no way to, yeah. Do not greedy, protect your hearts. So all the do all the don't really come with all the don't really come with protection. All the do really come with blessings. That's why the conclusion of commandments is love. Oh. Of course, earthly people interpret love differently. I'm not going to expand that. Next slide, please. Let's try to learn where love from. Huh? Love is from a pure heart. God is love. And now in the church we should talk about love. We should not talk a lot of things that arose debate, arose unnecessary debate. Huh? Like myth. In Greek, they have a lot of myth, yeah? Greek methodology. You go to, and they are under influence of Greek culture. So they bring a lot of myth into the church. Or those endless genealogy. Today, Jewish people are still proud of who they are. They are descendants of Abraham. How do you know you're descendants of Abraham? Based on the genealogy, right? But what did the Bible says? Even God can raise up Abraham's children from the rock. So it's if you debate about this. But today people are very weird, you know. Some truth seeker came and they kept on. They are of course they are American. Those truth seekers are American. But they are like me. They are converted American. They are not. They are other race. They are not. Or maybe all the American are other race anyway. But they try to prove themselves. When we are discussing about it, they try to prove themselves. This guy is from the tribe of Benjamin. I said, how come you say you are from the, where do you base you are from the, he's an African American, right? And he tried to emphasize that it is very important that he got to link to some tribes of Abraham. I don't see what is so important, but to some people, they are very important. Anyway, it may run into this type of truth seeker, that's why I mentioned it. But again, those are not important. The Bible over here says that, verse 5, really, what is the 命令的总归就是爱. The conclusion of commandment is really love. Love is from pure heart. Now, Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23. How many of you can memorize it? Victoria, 4:23. Okay. 要保守你心胜过保守一切，因为一生的果效从心发出。Anybody? Anybody can memorize 4:23? No, you should memorize it when you are young, right? Please.
Keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it springs the issues of life.
Oh, thank you. So the Bible says that love should be from your heart. Now you go to Africa, right? I don't know. This is negative. Shall I share it? No, really. You are together with different race. Sometimes you take their bus, right? Early days. You take bus with them, right? The small bus squeezed with 20, 30 person, a minivan types of bus, squeezed with 20, 30 people, right? At the back, people are hanging at the back of the car. Maybe people are standing on the top of the car. Like nowadays, you saw some YouTube, all the trains in India train. You see people are hanging around and stuff. And sometimes you squeeze inside, right? It really smells. Right? It really smells bad. And you start to feel, how do I love those type of person, right? And then when it comes to laying hand, right? Laying hand. No. You stand very close away and turn your heads around. Maybe, right? Because you just feel very uncomfortable when you go into their midst, right? I'm just saying. So when you talk about you love your brethren, including your African brethren, But you yourself have some hygienic habits, like you cannot take some smell, right? Now, how do you adjust yourself? The Bible says, love is from 清洁的心. Really, you deep down from your heart, you know that this is my brother. We speak in the same tongue. We have the same father. But then there are cultural differences. How do you truly guard your heart? 保守你的心 more than anything else. Guard your heart more than anything else. How do you deep down from your heart, you do not despise them? When you go to like a pioneer area, some member will keep calling their name. They will say, 黑鬼, 白鬼, 白楼, 黑鬼, 黑鬼, 白楼, 鬼楼. Now I tell our brethren, right? Come on. We are supposed to preach to them, right? You keep calling them 黑鬼, 鬼楼. How if you have this type of mentality, how do you preach to them? So when you say love is from pure heart, do we have now a lot of concept, a lot of cultural concept need to be readjusted? You go there, do you truly love them? But again, there are so many things they might offend you, physically or psychologically. But at that time, how do you adjust yourself? How do you guard your hearts? Because pure love is from a pure heart. And what is pure heart? Pure heart is without hypocrisy, right? 1 Peter 1:22. 1 Peter 1:22. 1:22. Who's turn? Oh, I have a name. List. Christine Tao. Hey, Christine Tao is from Moscow. Yeah? Oh, she's from Moscow, yeah? Is it? Anybody know Christine Tao? She's from Moscow. Victoria Share, please read.
22. Since you have purified your souls in obeying the truth through the Spirit, in sincere love of the brethren, love one another fervently with a pure heart.
Huh? Did he say that 爱弟兄没有虚假? How do you say it in English?
Sincere love of the brethren.
Oh, okay. Just that? My translation says 爱弟兄没有虚假.
The footnote says unhypocritical.
Yeah, unhypocritical. Yeah, love without hypocrisy. Unhypocrite. Yeah, thank you. So, can you give me an example that people love 虚假的 hypocritically? Give me an example of that in the Bible that people show love. Peter, what did he do?
He didn't want to sit with the uncircumcised brethren.
Okay, cultural. Uncircumcised. Okay. You don't want to stay with uncircumcised brethren. Originally, he stayed with them, right? But the Bible says that he was afraid that James' brothers came. The brothers that have the same concept as James came. That's why he separated himself. So maybe he did love them, but do not want to bring up too much trouble concerning the... we can think about this. Thank you for your answer. Any other examples of love with hypocrisy? 虚假的爱, not sincere, not from true heart.
Does Nicodemus count? Like he dare not show in the open that he wants to see Jesus as well?
Nicodemus,
Yeah, he secretly go in the night.
secretly.
Yeah.
虚假的爱.
Because I think if you love somebody, it doesn't matter whether it's broad daylight.
Okay. Well, we can all think about this, right? A lot of time you cannot truly show your love because of your jobs, your status. You want to love them, but because of the environment, you cannot truly show your true love. I think when you talk about hypocrisy, I think we do that too. We do that. For example, I greet you. How are you? You say fine, thank you, and you, right? A lot of time this is not truly fine. Like if we are trained to be very polite, diplomat. How are you? Fine, thank you, and you? It's very standard answer, right? If you talk to me, how are you? If I say, I'm not fine, no thank you, and not you, then this is, well, I'm very genuine. I'm not fine, right? I don't have time for that. You don't have time for me. Yeah. So this is superficial love. Love people say love has three levels. Love has three levels. The first layer is like that, very superficial. It's not really sincere, not truly from your heart. Like superficial, the weather is good, right? The second level is exchange information. You want to share information with that people. Oh, you know what? Donald Trump is not doing a good job. And how about your prime minister? This is like a deeper level than how are you? I'm fine, right? Now, sincere love, really from your heart, is really, oh, I'm hurt today. Can you pray for me? I just 失恋了. I just 失恋了. 失恋了. You don't know what is 思念? You never got 思念? Yeah, I just break up with someone. You don't know what is 思念? 分手, yeah. I just break up with someone, I lost my love. Or that is, if you dare to show this to others, that means that you have very deep, you are body-body. That kind of communication is really more from your hearts. It's even deeper than, how is Donald Trump doing? That is third party information. So really, when you talk about communication, there are three levels. Or love, expression, there are three levels. Now, when you talk about love from pure hearts, there is no hidden agenda. There's no hidden agenda. It's it's just for the sake of Jesus Christ. You want to show concern. Love without hypocrisy, without deceitfulness. Let's turn to Psalm 24:3. 24:3 and 4. 24:3 and 4. Fanny, Lee, Fanny. 4.
He who has clean hands and a pure heart, who has not lifted up his soul to an idol, nor sworn deceitfully.
Not swear deceitfully. He is pure with his hand. Clean with his hand, pure with his heart. Clean with his hand, 这是外在的啦. Pure with his heart, this is inner. One is outwardly pure with his hand. Inwardly is clean with your heart. So when you truly show your love to other people from your hearts, there is not only no hypocrisy, but no deceitful. Even you swear, there is no hidden agenda. How did Judah betray Jesus Christ? If you talk about deceitfulness, how did Jesus? Yes, kiss to kill him. How about that? I kiss you and kill you. A kiss to betray, right? This is deceitfulness. Do you remember another story like how did Joab kill a general, Amasa? How did he do that? Or another general? Do you remember the story? Joab killed. He tried to grab his spears with one hand, and the other hand pick up the sword and step into his stomach. Remember that story? Do we need to flip to that? How many of you forget about that story? Raise your hand. Do not know that story. I guess we need to read that. I don't remember. That is deceitfulness. That is kiss to kill. Where is it? Can you find it out? Let's see 2 Samuel. 2 Samuel. Is it 2 Samuel? Let me see. Either we are talking about Joab's story. Chapter 20. Chapter 20, verse 9. Yeah. Yeah. Can you read from 8 to 10? Who said that? You are, brother, your name?
Jacob.
Jacob, can you read?
Verse 8. When they were at the large stone which is in Gibeon, Amasa came before them. Now Joab was dressed in battle armor. On it was a belt with a sword fastened in a sheath at his hips. And as he was going forward, it fell out. Then Joab said to Amasa, "Are you in health, my brother?" And Joab took Amasa by the beard with his right hand to kiss him. Verse 10. But Amasa did not notice the sword that was in Joab's hand, and he struck him with it in the stomach, and his entrails poured out of the ground.
Yeah, this is very tricky. Yeah, this guy is very tricky. And purposely he allowed his sword fall from his how do you call that? Right? And then just hi, how are you? And grab his beard because beard could be long. Yeah, I don't know how. Probably I don't know. Grab his ear, got to stop his view. Yeah. And then maybe pull it down to kiss him and pick it up and just kill it. This is like what? This is a love with deceitfulness. 诡诈的, very deceitful. Of course, this is bad. I don't believe we will do that. But I think our trouble is that sometimes we are not as sincere as we want to. I don't believe you will, as a TJC member, you will be like Joab. No, I don't think so. But a lot of time when you talk about love, we are very superficial. We do not have the heart of Jesus. Yeah. Okay, so love is from a pure heart. Then from a clear conscience. Next slide. Clear conscience. What is conscience? 清洁的心，然后再来是良心哈 ，pure heart and clear conscience. What is a conscience? Anyone? Hey, is it time to break? Yeah, let's pray in silence. Amen. Let's take a break.